If you are someone that struggles with foundation, you just find that when you put it on, it just settles and creases in every single line and nook and cranny. If you are having difficulty concealing your imperfections, if you are having issues with creasing under your eyes, today's video is going to be about you. Because I'm not just going to talk about it, I'm actually going to show you the tips. I'm going to zoom you way in so you know I'm not talking out of my ass. And I'm going to talk a little tea about why I decided to make this video. Let's get into it. I want to talk about the types of concealers that I like to use depending on what I'm doing. So first thing I want to do is talk about blemishes on your face. And then I want to get into also another alternative for you too as well. If you're somebody that can't wear foundations, we're going to talk about all that. So first thing is concealing a blemish. Now there's a couple different ways you can do it. The first way you can do is you can put your foundation on and then you can go over it with a concealer like this one, something like this, like Natasha Denona, something like that. One thing you want to make sure that you're doing is you don't want to highlight it. So you don't want to use something too light. Like this concealer I bought is way too light. Okay, so if I put that on a blemish, it's going to highlight it. So I really messed up when I got this color. So be careful. This is the one from NARS, by the way. This is an excellent one. So something like this or something like this one is really nice to use under a foundation, because what you do is you put a little bit of this on, and this one, by the way, is from MAC, and you can mix the color that you want, which I really like. So I use a couple different ones and do it. So you can put that on first, kind of let it sit on there for a little bit, and then go over your foundation with it. Now you do have to be careful not to overwork it, because if you do, then you're going to have to end up reapplying it, okay? But it's just another way that you can do it. So you kind of let it sit on there for a little bit, then you apply your foundation. Or you can just do it on top of your foundation. But like I said, don't use a color that's too light. You can also use something like this as well. But this I would definitely use after you do foundation, because this, something like this or like this, a little bit thicker. So it's not going to move around as much underneath if you're applying, if you're applying your foundation on top of it. Whereas this is definitely going to move. It's just going to lift right off. Now, if you're somebody that you cannot wear a foundation because you've tried them all, no matter how much or how little that you put on, you just find that it's always creasing in your lines, then I would say don't use a foundation. So a couple things you can do. You can use a tinted sunscreen. So use a tinted sunscreen as kind of your foundation. The thing about a tinted sunscreen is that it can be really, really shiny. So for me, like, I would have to set that if I was going to wear it like that. That's the only downfall. I mean, it's just going to sit on top of your skin like a foundation. So if you put anything on top of it, it's going to move it around. So just keep that in mind. And then the other option that you have that might be a better one for you, well, actually there's two more. You can use a tinted moisturizer. You're going to have very, very light coverage. It's going to be more sheer, and it shouldn't be noticeable if it is settling. Or you can use a concealer like this. This one's from Natasha Denona. You don't have to use this, but I would use like a full coverage, especially if you are covering up melasma, if you have redness by your nose, if you have a blemish, whatever. You just use this. And what you do, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to wear foundation today, but I'm going to show you how I apply it. As you take this, put it on the back of your hand, wash it off when you're done. If you don't like to do that, you can always get like a mirror, like a just one that you're not really going to use, or like a glass. They have those little glass palettes that you can get, and you can put it on top there if you don't want to do it on your hand. Okay, but you want to put it on there. And then what you want to do, and by the way, this is a tip that I got from Katie Hughes, and she's a makeup artist. So then you take your brush. Okay, I'm just going to use like a brush like this. I would say like a nice fluffy brush that's kind of almost like a foundation brush. And then you just go like this and you work it into your brush really, really well. Then you go in and you apply it in the areas that you want. And as you're applying it too, you're kind of blending it out into the skin, okay? And it's going to thin out. You want to make sure that you get a foundation that's very, very similar, if not identical to your skin tone. It's all going to blend well. So you don't want to get anything that's going to look well, you shouldn't anyways, in my opinion. You just don't want to get anything too dark or anything like that because then you're going to notice it. You want to get something that's going to work with your skin tone. And then I would say set that very, very lightly. If you have dry skin, and I should have brought it in here, um, but if you have dry skin, just use a powder, use a little bit of powder, and I would recommend using a fluffy brush like this to set it, okay? Because if you don't set it and you put your blush on it, then it's going to look splotchy. So you're going to want to set it just in the areas that you need to. Don't have to do it anywhere other than the areas that you applied your concealer. And then you can use a hydrating spray like MAC Fix Plus, or you could use Peach and Lily, or if you have one in your skincare routine that you use to hydrate your face, you can use it. I just wouldn't use anything that has oils in it, anything like that that's going to break down the concealer. But if it's just hydrating, has all good, hydrating ingredients, glycerin, and things like that, it's great to mist on over on top. And what that's going to do is it's going to melt everything together. So it's not going to look like you have powder on your face, and it's going to look amazing. All right. Today, I'm going to show you a foundation, though. I'm just going to do it because I'm filming videos, so that's what I want to wear today. And then we're going to get to the under eye concealer. And I have a little something to talk about that too, because one of the reasons I wanted to share this video is because I saw somebody kind of being really negative about applying concealer, and something he said that I do not agree with. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But let's get on with foundation. So I'm just going to use my Valentino foundation. It takes me a while to go through my foundations, let me tell you. And then I'm going to start right here. I like to go where I have like more redness in my face, discoloration. And I kind of work it out. And I'm going to get there. I have a little bit more right there. And you see that I'm using my fingers because I like to work it in my skin. So if you have areas where you have lines, this is what you're going to want to do because you kind of want to work it in those areas. And then I'm going to get it up here. And I'm still going to use a brush, but I just want to apply it with my fingers first. And I like to do one side of my face at a time because, foundation can kind of start to dry up. I still have a little bit left. And I'll just go ahead and I still have, look at all of it I have on there. Another way that you could do it too is you could do it the same way that I told you about the using it like a concealer. You could do the same thing with your foundation. You can use a brush like this, nice dense brush, go in there, really work it in, and then you can tap it out and apply it that way too. So either way is a great way to do it. I'm going to get a little bit more right here because I want to get in those pores that I have. And sometimes foundation can sit on top. See that? So now I'm going to do the other side. Same thing. I'm going to take what I have left on here, and I'm just going to start right there. I'm going to start blending it out. Now, if you use a primer, obviously you put the primer on first. I'm not wearing a primer today. I do like to wear my Sicily primer that I wear. It's called Instant and Long Term is what it's called. So I've been wearing that more lately, but I don't like to wear that when I'm at home so much because it's really pricey. So I like to keep it for when I'm going out. I just find gripping primers do help my foundation stay on longer because I have oily skin. So okay, now I'm going to go in and start using this brush. And I kind of like to tap it. And this too helps it look more skin-like. I'm going to work it in here, get it here. Really take the time to blend, blend, blend. because I say this all the time. Foundation is supposed to even out your skin tone. That's what it's doing. It's evening out your skin tone. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use this to conceal my blemishes today. I'm going to use my Natasha. Just going to dab those. I'm going to put a little bit on my scar. And I think that's it. I'm going to let that sit there for a little bit. I'm going to get back to it. So let's get into the concealer. And I want to share something with you before I do this. And I've shared a lot of tutorials on concealing because it is one area that I feel like most of us struggle with. I did for a long time. And I thought it was the concealer. I thought I had to find a concealer that wasn't going to crease on me. I kept looking and looking and trying, and every time I got one, it creased on me immediately, creased on me immediately. And you know what I discovered? It's not the concealer. It was how I was applying it. So before you do your under eyes, I believe you should be wearing an eye cream, especially if you have mature eyes, because we normally have your under eyes are dry when we're mature skin. I have oily skin and my under eyes are dry. But the thing is, you don't want to apply that under eye cream right before you're going to put your concealer on, because it's going to be another layer of product that's probably going to end up creasing on you. So you want to put your eye cream on as part of your morning routine. Go have your breakfast, do your hair, make your bed, do whatever else, and then you come back and you do your makeup. The second thing is you don't want to apply too much concealer, because if you do, it's going to crease. And before I get into it, like I said, the reason I'm sharing this is because there's an influencer. I'm not going to say who it is, but this influencer is very, very big. And this person got very, very big by a lot of drama and kind of critiquing other people's makeup. That's how this person got really big. And they are a makeup artist, but they were on TikTok and said that if you say that your under eye concealer doesn't crease, then you're a liar. And I didn't say anything. I just scrolled by it, but I wanted to share this with you. If you are a makeup artist and you are having issues with your clients with their under eye creasing, or you are, then I just can tell you, you don't know what you're doing. There's plenty of makeup artists that share similar techniques that I'm sharing with you, and none of them will tell you that it's going to crease. They will tell you if you put too much, it's going to crease. It sure in the hell will. That is the biggest tip, okay? So here's the thing. If you have discoloration under your eye, especially if you're like me, and I have it like from the corner here, there, like my tear trough, that's where I have darkness. Now, some people have it completely under their eye. You still do not want to just plop a bunch of product under your eyes because it's going to crease. If you have a lot of darkness and you find that no matter what concealer you're using, it's not giving you enough coverage, because you do have to use one that's more full coverage, or one like this, that it's actually, there's skincare in here, but it has a little bit of color correcting in it because it has a peachy. I'm going to hold it back so you can see it. See how it's got that peachy undertone? That is what helps me, so I don't have to put a color corrector on and then go in and do a conceal on top. I can just use this, because the less products that you're layering is going to help prevent creasing, and also the less product we use is going to help prevent creasing. If I am in a hurry in the morning and I'm like trying to hurry up and get my makeup on, there have been times that I put too much on. And what happens? It creases because I put too much on. So if you're having issue, I'm telling you, it's because you're putting way too much product on. You might not think you're putting a lot on, but you are. So get a liner brush like this, and no judgment on this because I have to clean mine. This is, don't go by the bent shape. Don't go by any of it. This is old. They don't make it anymore. Just look at this. Do you see how tiny this is? Okay, get a tiny brush like this. And the reason is because you're going to have more control when you are applying it. So you're not going to apply too much. So I'm taking some on my brush. And the thing is, you can always go back and get more if you need a little bit more. But once you get too much on, you get too much on. So then I go ahead and I'm going to start applying it. Now, like I said, I get some discoloration up here too, so I'm going in there and I'm going here. And again, even if you have all like complete discoloration under your eyes, just apply it here. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to take this brush next. This one came with mine, but honestly, you can get a lip liner brush, all right? And I would recommend doing this until you get the hang of it. After a while, you can use your finger, you know, because you'll know. But your finger is a lot bigger than the brush. See, and if you're not getting the hang of it, you're going to end up just spreading it too fast, getting too much under there, and it's going to crease. So take your brush, and then we're going to start tapping it on and just keeping it in place. And what this is going to do is it's going to thin it out. Okay, so then you don't have too much, and then whatever's left, we work it on underneath there. Now again, if you have a lot of darkness under here, you're going to have to get a really good concealer that's going to have a lot of coverage for you. So then after you thin it out, you're going to have enough left, and it's going to be enough coverage that it's going to conceal your under eye area. I don't really have a lot under there. I just have like a little discoloration like under my eye right there, and that's it. And then you can even take your finger and blend a little bit more. You can take a tissue. If you don't like the shine, you don't want to powder it, you can take a tissue and just lightly just go like that and tap it. But I'm going to set mine with powder. I don't use a lot of powder. This powder I don't particularly care for, but I want to use it up, and it's the one from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, I like her Flawless Filter. This one is not the Flawless Filter one. This one is actually supposed to be for under eyes. It only comes in 2 shades. This one is white. It's supposed to be brightening. And this is called the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish. And it's just not the same powder, but I'm going to use it up. So just take a little on a fluffy brush, tap, 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 start on the outer corner, and then work your way in. That way too, if you feel like a powder is too dry and you're not going to get too much on there, it's going to mostly go there, and then you're going to blend it out. I'm just tapping it in. I just want to blend. Like I said, this is not my favorite powder. And that's it. And I'm going to show you close up too of what it looks like, so you know I'm not talking on my ass. Okay, so I just thought that really ticked me off when he said that, because it's like, that is so not true. When I share tips with you guys, I do them myself, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm not sharing things that are going to just go viral. No, I want to share stuff that actually works, that I actually do myself. Now that all my makeup is on, it's actually been sitting out for a while, I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what my face looks like. You can see under my eyes, no creasing. I understand the struggle because I struggled too, but as we age, less is best when it comes to using a foundation, when it comes to using a concealer. Less is best. The more that we pile up, it could just look cakey on us. It's going to separate, it's going to crease, and just accentuate areas that we don't want. So I hope that my tips are helpful and were helpful and informative to you. And I hope I didn't come off too spicy when I was talking about that makeup bars. It just, I don't like when people say stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've had people occasionally over the years say, I've tried everything and it doesn't work. And I'm telling you, it's because you're using too much product. And if you're putting more on because it's not concealing, then you're using the wrong concealer. And if you've tried every concealer and you're not using a lot, but you feel like it's still not working because it's not giving coverage, then unfortunately that's how it is. You know what I mean? I have lines like, look, when I smile, that's when it's going to crease on me. So I know what I'm talking about, but I just know for me, the less I use, then it works for me. If I put too much product on, it's going to crease. It's just common sense. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I really do hope that this video was helpful and informative for you. If you are new here, I would love to have you join. I share new videos every single week. Please consider smashing that subscribe button below. It is free. I would greatly appreciate it if you've enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, share, and comment on the video. Helps to push them out to the algorithm my hands make. And I would greatly appreciate your help on that. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.